Hey, Sunflower Squad. How'd you like that? I'm trying to work on a name. This is your 2024 general predictions video. I know I'm a little late to the club. I was sick, then I started grad school, and it's just a lot of chaos coming into my 2024. I am here nonetheless, better late than never. So I have 3 piles for you to choose from. You know what? I'm actually going to see if I can find the cards that I used for your primary oracle message. I know I have one here. Perfect. Here's the other one. And if I find the third one, we'll be in luck. Here we are. Perfect. So for pile 1, I went with an Oolong Jade, and you have Gemini in Venus with flattery. So if the transit, the sign, the planet, crystal speaks to you in any way, then you can take that as a sign that that's your pile, or the number 3. Some of you might be life path number 3s. Some of you might be born in the 3rd month of the year. Some of you might have your Venus in Gemini, or that could be a significant placement. You just honestly might like the artwork on the card. So whatever speaks to you. Pile 2, we have a piece of tumbled citrine with Jupiter in Aquarius, innovation. So again, whatever speaks to you. Okay. Pile 2. There you go. Pile 3. We have a piece of tumbled lavender quartz and a card. We have Venus in Pisces with submission. So again, I'm going to let you choose. I keep moving the thing, but I'm going to give you some time. If you liked your pile, feel free to give it a like. Let me know. It always makes my day. Happy 2024. We made it, guys. And cheers to whatever milestones you are celebrating this year. I am here for all of it. And with that being said, I'll see you in a pick a card reading soon. Toodles! Pile 1, welcome to your reading all about what's in store for you in 2024. I'm just using some protective spray on my hands as we start your reading. And before we begin, feel free to set an intention for your reading. And the first card that I pulled for you is an oracle card, and I kind of sat with it for a little bit. I'll show it to you in a second, but I usually will free write and I connect with my intuition. So I have an index card with some thoughts, and I did listen to Taylor Swift instrumentals on shuffle. And so you got Venus in Gemini. That's your card with flattery. I do usually look up when this transit is occurring in 2024, and that is going to be from May 23rd to June 16th. Your 3 Taylor Swift songs were Snow on the Beach, Mastermind, and You're on Your Own, Kid. So listen to those lyrics and see if you can apply them or if they resonate in a personal way. And again, with lyrics, they are more metaphorical rather than literal. So just keep that in mind. Those could reflect your experiences in some way. When I first saw this card, I thought of falling in love with your thoughts. And, sometimes our mind is a very scary place to be. And I think you are learning to love your mind and come to situations from a more compassionate perspective in 2024. There might be even like paradigm shifts that you're making as a result of what you experienced this year. I also felt that you might be learning to receive with genuine acceptance. And what I mean by this is, for example, someone might compliment your hair and you can just say thank you, right? But do you actually believe the compliment? That kind of thing. And that might also mean that learning to accept with gratitude and acceptance, that might be a focal point of healing for you in 2024. This is you branching out of your comfort zone, maybe even trying out situations or experimenting with your role in a particular group. So for example, like getting out of your comfort zone in some way. Like, so for example, let's say you have a group project and you're usually the leader, like you could experiment and take a step back and see if someone else's energy emerges. I'm going to put your card right here as, sort of like your focal card. But yeah, some of you could have Gemini placements, or some of you might have Venus in Gemini, or you might be meeting someone with Venus in Gemini, meeting new people, getting inspired, and inspiration finds us in movies and TV and media, in places and books. So even in conversations, and you are celebrating meaningful connections and learning how to embrace and embody authentic self-love. I'm seeing that some of you could be exploring your roots and even, traveling to a place that's significant to your ancestors. Understanding who you are through the lens of others. So like, for example, in couples therapy, you are learning about, like, you are processing your own feelings, and you're also participating, like, as a couple, if that makes sense. Like, you're understanding who, like, your qualities through what your partner says, if that makes sense. Or you might be understanding who you are using, like, a therapist as a sounding board. I don't know. Then that might not make sense, and that's okay. That's just what I wrote down. Finding a new hyperfixation or getting more invested in an existing fixation that you have. I'm almost done. Not rushing, learning to take your time. Patience is a virtue after all. Releasing unrealistic expectations. So for example, it's not realistic to say yes to everything, especially when you don't actually enjoy it. And so, like, let's say, you're so burnt out from work and everything, and your friends want you to go do something impulsive and spontaneous and, like, go out for drinks. And you're like, you want to say yes, but you also know that you have a lot to do, and, you don't want to feel blah, at the end, like tomorrow morning, and you want to get good quality sleep and everything. And so that might be saying, no, I can't tonight, but I would love to some other time. Feel free to go without me, and, I'll catch you guys. I'll rain check, But sometimes, you can feel like pressured to say yes. And so that's what you're taking a step back from. Some of you might be learning to meditate or finding a hobby that really sparks joy. Bonding with others over a common interest, that could be going to see a concert, like go together, like a mutual artist or a mutual genre of music, a comedian, like so bonding over laughter, listening to a new podcast, what have you. So your tarot card that's going to be the focal point of this reading is the Knight of Pentacles, aka the action of Pentacles in this deck. But this is also saying that like your routines might change. You're going to have like a really strong morning routine and evening routine. You want to feel more organized and ready to take on tasks. You are definitely taking action on cultivating growth this year in some capacity. Networking, like so finding contacts that you can again connect with, but also like move forward in your career. You can see this shadow of a horse and a rider, and so maybe you're meeting someone who has Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo placements. Really quick, I want to see this book. Hold on. Okay, I have this book and I want to see when Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles as the third decan of Leo, so August 12th to the 22nd, as well as the first two decans of Virgo season, so August 23rd to September 1st, and September 2nd to the 11th. So essentially, from August 12th to September 11th. That somebody who has a birthday within that period, or again, those periods that I've talked about, May 23rd to June 16th, and then August 22nd to September 11th. I think that's what I said. I'll put it on the screen, but those dates might be important. Let's get some tea leaf oracle cards. Tea leaf oracle cards. I feel like you can't see that. Let me see. I'm trying to like... Oh, that is much better. Okay. Okay, we got some. Let's see, pile one. We have the shield. So you need to defend yourself. So this is about protecting your energies, saying no, as I said, using boundaries. Boundaries are your bestie after all. And then we have, let's see, what do we have? The scales. Okay, so making decisions. And also, this is all about balance, checks and balances. Libra energy. The scales and the shield. So the letter S might also be of significance. I'm going to move this up a little bit. So, protection. So, I mean, I guess the literal form of protection, but like protecting passwords, protecting assets, making sure your firewalls are up. This is a random message, I know, and it might be very, very specific, so it might not apply to everyone. Scales, there might be some aspect of the law involved. Like you could be signing legal documents or contracts, because I was getting networking in some capacity. I'm even seeing for some of you speed dating. March, May, June, August, and September. I'm feeling those dates. On the bottom of the deck, we have Camel. Persevere and you will overcome problems. So again, taking your time, using your resources with intention, okay? This is a marathon, not a sprint. That is the mindset that you are having in 2024. I'm feeling Jade for your crystal. Sometimes I wait and I don't select the crystal until, as I'm doing the reading. Let me get my little animal book. We'll read the excerpt on camels. Okay, so let's see. Also, shields like knight and shining armor. I'm also getting that as well. Okay, I just saw it. Here. It is on page 65. So again, we have 11 with justice coming through, which is more Libra energy. More than ever, it's time to trust your own intuition for guidance, paying close attention to your senses and what they're telling you. You have a lot more energy and durability for the task ahead than you think you do. The road ahead may be difficult and you won't have a lot of support, yet you must take it with complete trust that you have everything you need within you and that you will succeed. Although you'll never want for anything, it's still a good idea and a practical move to store away some supplies and money for future use. So building your savings account. Some of you might even be moving, because we have the camel on foot, we have the horse on foot. Knights can sometimes mean movement. Even in our careers, we might be branching out into a different career field. We might be getting a promotion in an existing one. We might discover who we are and what we want to do professionally. So with that being said, let's get into our tarot cards. I'm going to be using the Avatar deck that I got just recently because, I don't know, it's exciting. Okay, so pile one, what are the, you know what? Wait, before I do this. I'm going to use my Spread Crafter's Oracle to kind of get the gist. So we're going to do, what is a lesson that pile one is learning to embrace for 2024? Pile one. What is pile one learning to embrace for 2024? Interesting. Okay, so a lesson that you're learning in 2024 is how to reframe your thoughts. So reframe, to express in a different manner, to redefine something, to change something from destructive to constructive, to reestablish meaning. Okay, so reframe. And let's get a card, a tarot card for that. Reframe. Elaborate on how pile one is reframing in 2024. Pile 1, elaborate how Pile 1 is reframing in 2024. Or how is Pile 1 or reframing in 2020? I think I just said that. So stop second guessing yourself. Okay? So we have strength coming through Pile 1. You might not believe that what you've gone through makes you resilient or tough. And you have this inner fortitude that serves as this foundation for your compassion, like you've been through the worst. I also think it's interesting how green is coming up. Like the heart chakra, and learning to love yourself takes a lot of strength. It's not just, I don't know, it can be a process, a lengthy process. And strength is Leo, right? Leo rules our heart and how we see ourselves. And you're learning to recognize as well as like it takes a lot to, again, genuinely love yourself and learn what you need. But at the end, it makes you a stronger individual. Hold on 1 minute. This is making me think of something. My partner and I went thrifting and I found this book and I have been looking through it and I found something and then I'm going to have to reset. Your task, so Rumi said this is a quote. Look how cute. It says, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Hold on. In other words, like there is strength in self-compassion. And maybe you feel like you have to be strong for everyone else, but this is also learning that if you're not filling your cup first, you won't have enough to sustain your service to others. What house is this going to pertain to? Let's see, Pile 1. The third house. So again, reframing our thoughts. You don't have to be strong for everyone and everything. And it also takes strength to say no. It's like this people-pleasing thing is coming to an end. What's a blessing that you are going to receive in 2024, Pile 1? What is a blessing that you are receiving in 2024, Pile 1? Let me see. Hold on. Why did it go back? I thought I reset it. Whew, okay. A blessing that Pile 1 is going to receive in 2024. Pile 1. I'm going with this one. Oh. Okay. Pile 1, some of you might be the all work and no play kind of people. And you're learning to give yourself a break because for your blessing, we have joy, peace, and fun. Okay. Again, taking trips that you like, seeing the places that you want to go. Pile 1, elaborate on this joy, peace, and fun that Pile 1 is experiencing in 2024. Okay, the 9 of Wands. So lots of, fire energy. there's this energy of like, you had to work so hard to get to where you are that now it's like you get to enjoy and appreciate the journey. It felt like you were sitting on your dreams, or like like you had to put money away for your kids and you couldn't enjoy that money for yourself. Like you had to sacrifice. I'm not, and that was just an example, but like you've had to sacrifice your freedom so that others could be happy. And now you get to do that. I want to clarify. I'm going to use the Tarot of Oneness again to clarify this Nine of Wands. Clarify this Nine of Wands, please. Clarify this Nine of Wands for pile 1. This is also like, I feel like you're ridding yourself of self-sabotage. The Lovers came up. So it, again, maybe in your relationships, or even like this is the relationship that you have with your thoughts as well, and that of choice. Like maybe before you felt like, again, the Four of Pentacles is on the bottom of the deck, but maybe you felt like financially you couldn't go on the trips that you wanted to go on, or like have a really nice date or dinner because it would break the bank and you needed that money to pay bills. Like that part of you that is so focused on every coin that you have, that part is going away. And I think that you might find more money and prosperity coming in, again, as long as you're willing to put in the effort. But this is also enjoying the people and the relationships that you have, not feeling like you have to work so hard to be happy in those relationships. And like if a relationship is continually giving you stress, it's going to be really hard to feel like you're, fulfilled, or you're getting, something out of this relationship too. I feel like I'm going on a tangent. Whew. Okay. So we did a lesson. We did a blessing. And so it honestly, it feels like the universe is rewarding you. Like maybe you had a really bad breakup. Like your reward could be the lover. Like this person is coming into your life and you're able to attract now that your barriers are like you've fought. Okay. An opportunity. What is an opportunity for pile 1 in 2024? What is an opportunity for pile 1 in 2024? Spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors. Interesting. Okay, so I got seeker, but that expression. Okay, interest. Okay, you know what? We're going to go with those two. Okay, so for opportunity, I originally, I got Seeker, and this is like the OG card in this deck. It's essentially you. This is you. But Seeker implies also finding who you are. And I did touch a little bit on that in the Venus and Gemini card. But so that's why I pulled another one, and we have expression. Creative and self-expression, the way you choose to convey consciously or unconsciously an idea, an opinion, or an emotion. So these two, again, are going to represent this opportunity. And I think you're given the opportunity to express your needs and wants within relationships. This is expressing your style. You got your James Dean daydream look in your eye. Taylor Swift, big fan. Let's get in like a tarot card for this opportunity that is being presented to you for expression. You could be an artist, and so you are performing or expressing your art in some way, shape, or form. This could even be content creation for some of you, or sharing your gifts with an audience. Pile 1, clarify this opportunity for pile 1. Okay, yes. Yes. We have the 5 of Pentacles, but in the reverse position. So this is what it looks like. But in reversed, expressing this need to leave a situation that has reached its expiration date. Like, you are getting out of almost like the scarcity mindset. I had mentioned that some of you might find more abundance, and I definitely think that's true. We do have the 3 of Cups as well, and you know what? My battery is going to die, so give me a second. Okay, so as I was saying, you're going to have the opportunity to enjoy your finances, or enjoy, you're going to be able to enjoy money or have a little bit of fun with your money. Take a trip that you've always wanted to go on, or splurge on this new dress that you've been thinking about. I did hear that if a person is if you're flirting, for example, and stuff, and you find a romantic interest, this person could definitely take your time. This feels very much like a slow burn. I also wanted to say that you're going to be relying less on external validation and more on self-validation. That is something that I saw. Also, with Shield, something came through as I was changing my battery. Some people might not have your best interest at heart. And so just, again, be careful of the energy vampires that are out there. You are going to receive the love that you deserve, pile 1. Whew, okay. On the back of this deck was the 3 of Cups. So maybe that's why I'm seeing the little umbrellas in there, that you would see, and the little martini glasses. So maybe a trip, a girl's trip. I had mentioned snow on the beach, and here we have the beach, but I'm feeling somewhere tropical. This is feeling loved. Your environment is also going to play a very, very big role. Let's see what months of the year. I know I mentioned some months earlier, but I have my cards, and we're just going to see. You're giving off a very different vibration. And that might not all happen at once, but I think over time, this is a big metamorphosis mindset-wise. So we have February. So that's Aquarius and Pisces season. Very mutable energy because we've got Pisces over there, we got Gemini, and we've got Virgo. Okay. We have August. That's Leo and Virgo season. And then we have November. So that would be Scorpio and Sag season. Okay. Let's get some other oracle cards. Lessons or themes, anything that you want to elaborate on, Spirit, for pile 1. Okay, inner darkness. Hold safe space, knowing patterns, release versus feed. Okay, interesting. So again, there's going to be that shadow work component, and it's interesting because on the bottom of this deck, my Spread Crafters Oracle, there was this one, and it says assert, and it's very throat chakra, and this is the air element, and we have to claim, to take space, to remain honest and confident. I might leave that here, but this is definite healing from trauma. 5 is like breaking free of the chains that have been holding you back, understanding the patterns so that you can change them. Release versus feed, and like knowing the difference, because like also sometimes like, yes, we want to feel our feelings, but sometimes knowing when to take a step back can be tricky when we're so in it. So this is like the equivalent of like numbing yourself to your emotions, or like really listening to sad music, or, you know, drinking or smoking to like numb the pain, not wanting to be inside your body. So this is very deep, dark stuff. And this might be something that you're exploring or navigating through as a result of some big life change that might be happening in your life. And so with that environment, like creating a sanctuary that you can feel safe in, understanding what you need and what you want to feel safe. I might read the book from this one because it's a newer deck. Let's see, we have oh wow, okay, I flipped to it. This is your dark night of the soul. When emotions, situations, or our thoughts are overwhelming, the resulting inner darkness can be daunting and hard to deal with, especially when it's accompanied by trauma or mental health issues. There are many reasons why the dark night of the soul comes upon us, and if you're dealing with darkness or have dealt with it in the past, this card invites you to be gentle with yourself and consider that there might be subconscious beliefs or patterns coming up that need some attention. Our subconscious holds our programming, beliefs, and memories that's intrinsically tied to the body. When darkness arises, there's often something coming up that's being triggered or asking for some attention. Even old issues we thought we had dealt with can come up in new layers that need a safe space. However, in the depth of darkness is often not the best time to dive into it. Doing so can be rough on your system. This is up to you and your intuition. If it feels too raw, don't go digging. Remember that in the process of healing, digging through old trauma, especially without the support of a professional, can be very, very dangerous. Okay, so instead of re-traumatizing yourself, focus on learning to listen to your system and see what you have the capacity for. You are enough. Above all, this card is a reminder that you are enough. Enough in the darkest hour, you are lovable. Or even in the darkest hour, you are lovable. Life ebbs and flows, and this wave will pass in one way or another. Focus on surviving today instead of despairing about what the rest of your life might look like if this persists. When the darkness comes, whatever form it takes, how do you hold yourself? Is it with compassion and acceptance, or is it with shame and self-loathing? Some patterns can be difficult to break, so remember that wherever you are is okay. If you can, invite in some self-care and compassion for everything that you are, all that you've been through, and all that you've done. It's okay to not be okay. Don't gaslight yourself about having a hard time. And again, that kind of goes back with being patient with ourselves, not rushing the process and meeting ourselves where we are instead of where we want to be. Ooh, okay, we're going to use these two to kind of close out our reading. So we're going to use the Divine Masters Oracle to kind of see who you're collaborating with on the spiritual realm. Pile 1, who are you collaborating with spiritually to help you find what you're seeking in 2024? Who's your spiritual mentor for 2024, pile 1? And I really want you to learn about this spiritual being and connect with it. Pile 1. Okay, you have Commander Ashtar. Leadership activation. Time to evolve. Trust in your ability to guide others. So this is asking you to take a leap of faith and really believe in yourself to see something through. Interesting, because we've been talking about this is you taking the lead on your life. And Commander Ashtar is here to kind of help you recognize that you're ready, even though it might not feel like it right now. Hold on. Wait. So I'm just going to tell you a little bit about him. Commander Ashtar, sometimes known as Ashtar, is a multidimensional intergalactic being who is head of the Ashtar Command, a group of highly evolved extraterrestrials who are dedicated to maintaining truth, peace, and harmony in the cosmos. He has been known to appear in human form so he can work with peacekeepers and light workers on planet Earth to support the evolution of the human soul. He also appears in the meditations of those who have the potential to lead others to wholeness and healing. If he comes to you, he will often invite you to the Ashtar command ship, where you will receive information and downloads to help you evolve. The challenges. So pile 1, you are learning how to be a leader in your life. And lead by example for others. Maybe your spiritual awakening, your dark night of the soul, and that spiritual process can be insight that you lend to others who are going through a similar experience. All right. Let's see. This is an angel, the Angels and Auras Oracle. So we're just going to see what comes up, any additional messages you need to hear about your 2024, pile 1. There we go. Pile 1, okay. Oh, we have your ready. Momentum, validation, encouragement, feeling prepared. So this is finally taking off the training wheels and completing this chapter. Feathers, as you can see, might be significant to you. Birds of a feather flock together, that kind of came through. Is there anything else that I wanted to say? So completing a chapter and opening the door to something new. That momentum too, it's like this Knight of Pentacles here, where it's like, you know, you're keeping up the pace. Is there any other deck that I wanted to get? I think that's it. This is integrating what you've learned. So like perfecting a recipe. It's like, you know, like learning through the experiences and reaping the rewards of that wisdom. And really quick, since we were talking about falling in love with your thoughts, I'm going to get like a card from the CBT deck. So this is taking charge. Okay, I like that. So we have 2 cards. We have angry shoulds. Anger towards others is often driven by the thought that they should behave differently. For example, this driver should be going faster. Often, though, these statements express wishes, not facts, about what the person has done wrong. Try stating your preferences instead of accusing the person of wrongdoing. So instead of this driver should be going faster, I wish this driver would speed up. Notice any changes in your experience of anger. I'll read the one on the bottom of the deck as well. I had said integration, by the way, and for the heck of it, I decided to look on the back of this deck, and it says Uriel, so Archangel Uriel, the color red, emotions, healing, devotion, and integrated. So I don't know. I just thought that I would pass that synchronicity along. We have one step at a time. What's one activity you need to do but have been putting off? Identify the very first step in completing it. Make the step very small. For example, the first step in painting a room might be finding your brush and roller. Complete that step today and then plan to do the next small step tomorrow. Continue in this way, one manageable step at a time until the task is completed. So using your time wisely, channeling your resources in a very responsible way. And finally, we have observe your thoughts. So these are habits that you might be integrating this year. Find a quiet space and bring to mind a situation that's been mildly troubling you. Notice the thoughts in your mind about this situation. What are your questions, judgments, or fears? Practice watching these thoughts and studying them with curiosity without being completely absorbed in them. Be aware that thoughts are products of the mind, not direct indicators of what is true. All right, pile 1, that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you liked this reading, if it resonated, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more pick a card readings on this channel. I'll see you soon. Toodles! Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your 2024 reading. Okay, pile 2. Lovely for you to be here. So your signature oracle and tarot card are going to be first, and then we're going to get some oracle messages followed by tarot, and we're going to layer it like a beautiful lasagna of clarity. All right. So with that being said, pile 2, we have your signature astrology card being the innovation card, signified by Jupiter in Aquarius. And then we have your tarot card being the Knight of Wands, or in this deck, the Action of Wands. And we have this Grand Canyon imagery and this rainbow lit path. So new places, travel, razzle dazzle. No, I'm just kidding. And if you can see, I think you should be able to see this. The horse and rider shadow is moving with urgency, right? Very fast moving, and it's because they are confident in the way, they're confident in their path. Okay. So I'm going to leave that here. I'm also going to adjust there we go. I'm going to make it a little bit darker so it's easier to see. Beautiful. Okay, so with this Jupiter in Aquarius, this has been a transit that has already happened. It was December 19th of 2020 to May 13th of 2021. And then later that year, July 28th of 2021, all the way to December 28th of that year. Okay, so this is expanding awareness of your place within a community. And in reflecting back to around this time, this was actually when my partner convinced me to move with him to Grand Rapids. This was where he wanted to go back and finish his graduate program, and he had a lot of friends here, as this was also his place of undergrad. And so I was nervous. And mind you, in previous relationships, like serious ones, I would be like, let's move across the country. Let's go here and let's go there. But obviously I had said yes. And as the time got nearer, because we moved in like August of 2021, I started getting really nervous. Like the month before we were about to leave, like I was regretting it and I was scared because I've never moved across the country with anyone. Not oh my gosh, I said country, across the state. It's like 2.5 hours from where I grew up, so not long at all. But it's just like the what ifs were coming in, and I don't know, I had to do it anyway. Like I didn't really have a choice. But the thing is like I experienced an awareness of my place within a community. I also got a job in Grand Rapids during this time also, where I was working in a school setting as a long-term special ed substitute teacher. And I loved working with kids. Like, that was something that I knew I wanted, like something I knew that I wanted to implement in my longer term career set. And now, we're on our way to being a registered play therapist. We are in grad school officially, though. And there was a lot of healing that happened during this time. So this reading is very resonant with me. But this is bringing out like the objectivity and like being able to look at the bigger picture, and also expressing individuality. Humanitarianism gives you rewards, right? And like, I'm sorry. Okay. So this is embodying the qualities of fairness and objectivity and individuality, humanitarianism. This is you reaping rewards by being more inclusive and opening your mind to progress. This is also a time in 2024, pile twos, when you're going to be willing to color outside the lines. You're going to have this desire to learn how to do things in a different way, leaning less on the traditions that you grew up with and starting to make traditions of your own. This is you seeing multiple sides of any given, I guess, argument or, stir up or situation even. There's not like, so for example, right now, my coworker who is in the resource room got transferred to kindergarten, and instead of just focusing on like me losing a Swiftie to the downstairs and I'm not going to see him again, like, or as much throughout the workday, like there's a new person coming in and she's bringing her own energy, and I can make, connections with her. And so seeing it as like, sometimes we don't get to control what happens, but we also have to be willing to roll with the punches. Okay. Sorry for like making it more, it's just, this is how I explain. I relate it to my own experience. And as a reader, I feel like I can do that within reason. This is also, though, maybe in 2023 and even years past, you've lacked that follow through. So you've had these big ideas and these big dreams, yet you never like took action. It was too much in your mind. And so 2024 is going to be opening those cupboards that you've put those ideas in and like bringing them out and like, and then kind of going through them. Like, is this something that you actually want to do, or is it not? And if it's not, throw it away. It's kind of like decluttering your mind. Okay. Another pitfall of this transit talks about like working only when you feel inspired. And I have this same thing where it's like, and I feel like it's because, see, Aquarius rules my 5th house. And so it's like, if I no longer see something as fun, I'm not as, my attention is harder, okay, to like hold on to. And obviously we want to focus on all the things, just like the colors of the rainbow. It's like, okay, pick one. And you're like, how can I pick one when I like 3 or 4 or 5? But I'm also seeing some of you travel to places you haven't been before, especially out in nature, like getting to more national parks or like a different place of the world entirely. And possibly even learning a new language, even if it's just like conversational vocabulary. This diamond shape carries divine union. So the top triangle, if you split it in half, the top triangle is representative of the fire element. So that is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. The bottom half, the inverted triangle, is the water element, or more feminine energy. So that's Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And so this is, the union of opposites giving birth to this feeling of home, filled with harmony and love and being proud of what you created. This might be a year where you're finding your soul family. This could even be online, as Aquarius represents networks. Okay, so this could be like joining a virtual book club or something and really connecting with people in that group, or even like a Facebook group. It's just something to get you involved and being a part of a community. This is even you, again, finding people to bond over common interests with. Feeling connected to others who are speaking your language, and embrace being on the outside, okay? Taylor Swift says, like, the outside. That's the song that you're gonna be, that might have some messages in there for you. And this is also just like appreciating your mind for the blessings that it can create, and also seeing the bright side in other people's minds. And like, I don't know. So during that time when Jupiter is in Aquarius, it brought rewards for Gemini, Aquarius, and Libra. Pressure to take risks were felt more by the fixed signs. So Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. And then significant opportunities were for Aries and Sag. Now, the next time Jupiter is in Aquarius, it's going to be in 2032 and 2033. And I'll put those dates somewhere either in the description box or on the screen. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. So let's get some tea leaf oracle cards. I literally said travel, and we have kite with vacation, which I think is interesting. So you could be taking, you might already have a trip planned. This might not be something that you necessarily do on like a whim. I mean, I guess it can be. Okay, I got two more. Whew. I got the chill. So we have forest, muddled, unclear thinking. And that's what I was saying. Like, you're going to be more organized in your thoughts, or develop organization in your thoughts or with your time. So like, for example, using a timer and setting one intention that you want to use that time for. We do have bear, danger, especially in money matters. So just be careful about investing your money, or like putting like I don't know, like gambling might be something that your spirit guides are trying to get you away from, or even like betting on sports. Like, even if it's not like a lot of money, it's still coin that you're throwing away essentially. So just be mindful, be aware. I'm going to read you the excerpt from my Spirit Animals guidebook on the brown bear. Okay, so let me see. Oh, I flipped to it right there. Okay, so bear. Set clear boundaries and don't compromise, even if pressured. Ask for what you want, whether or not you feel you'll get it. Get going on that creative project you have in your mind. Take some time out from your usual routine and spend some Take some time out from your usual routine and spend some time in solitude. You may be in need of physical or emotional healing. And I want to say, too, that we're on page 47, and that reduces to 11. We also have 11 on the card. So November might be significant, as well as Aquarius season. So that's going to be late January to mid-February. Okay. Be gentle and show your love to those you're close to. To find answers to your questions, go inside rather than reading or consulting others. So this is really trying to attune you to your intuition and those inklings. We have, for the brown grizzly bear specifically, stay grounded no matter what. It's time to bring your dreams and plans to fruition. It's important to trust your instincts. Enough hiding. It's time to come out and meet the world. Don't just wait for something to happen. Take action now. And sometimes we don't necessarily know what it is we want. So for example, like taking out personal loans to fulfill a short-term gratification that is more of a want than a need. Okay, that's what I'm getting. I'm getting land, or like a lot, like a plot of land, something like that. Let me see what area of your life this is going to affect. We have the 9th house. So, I mean, I guess like going back to school, higher education, student loans might be taking a big chunk out of your paycheck. And that might also be why you get frustrated, because especially in this economy, like you might not be able to take the vacation that you want to or buy whatever you want to because of the limits that money is putting on you at the moment. And also like big places, but also if it's meant to happen, it will happen. Like when there's a will, there's a way. So somebody might extend generosity to you and help you go on this trip. So like don't discount possibilities of something. I don't know. It's this muddled, unclear thinking that's coming through, and I do feel like an answer is coming, and it will present itself when the time is right. That song, like, let's go fly a kite up to the highest might. Also Mary Poppins. Owning your eccentricities, okay? I'm going to get an angel number for you as well. So repeating ones already are coming through, but let's see what else. We have 451. Sometimes I don't know what order to read it, but 451. Give that a Google and see what messages come up. Take those as, answers. Or, or 563. But let's see what else. I'm going to get into, before I get into tarot, I'm going to get into the months of the year, and I'm going to see what comes up. So right now, we also have the Knight of Wands. I'm so sorry. I'm getting another book, but there's specific times when they rule. Okay, here we go. The Knight of Wands is the last decan of Scorpio, so that would be November 13th to the 22nd, and then the first two of Sagittarius, so from November 23rd to December 12th. That might be significant. Knight of Wands can also talk about moving, so like moving your home or moving your place of residency, moving jobs, things like that. This could also be shifting your pillars of your values. Your core values might be shifting. Possibly even finding a mentor for some of you to guide you. I know that they said don't consult others, but I think just consulting other people's, just for opinion versus actually having a mentor or a therapist or someone in your corner whom you can trust. We have August. So Leo and Virgo season is coming through. We also have okay. I accidentally pulled a lot, so we're just going to go here. We're just going to go with it there. July. So that would be Cancer and Leo season. So summer, and then we have February, and we have March. So spring and summer are the 2 cardinal seasons. Okay, so let me just move these before I get into your tarot now. And then February and March. Let's go fly a kite. I have that song stuck in my head. There we go. I'm just trying to make space. Okay. So let's get into our tarot cards. Okay, pile 2, pile 2, pile 2. Oh, you know what? No, we have to get something else first. It's so funny though, because I think I forgot this in the first pile. I'm going to use my Spread Crafter's Oracle. Okay, so what's your biggest lesson that you're learning in 2024, pile 2? Biggest lesson for pile 2, 2024. Excuse. Okay. What excuses are making you... What excuses are you making to escape and avoid your problems? How have you been refusing to take ownership and responsibility for your reality? So this is your biggest lesson. And shadow work, okay? Shadow work, shadow work, shadow work. Let me reset my camera. Okay, pile 2. Let's see what you're learning about excuses. How is pile 2 learning or reflecting on the excuses in... You know what? When I said, like, you might be saying I can't go back to school because that means I'm going to have to take on another loan, or I'm not going to be able to do this because of something. So, like, maybe that's what you're using as an excuse. And, like, if that's the case, I know the money is going to find you. And it's easy to make excuses. It really is. But I don't think we recognize their excuses half the time. Pile 2. Okay, so the King of Swords is in the reverse position here. And then just for the heck of it, I'm going to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, the Seven of Swords. Okay, so kind of like, I'm going to say, like, some of you will stay in a situation for too long because you're afraid to leave and you feel that expectation to fix whatever it is. Now, if it's also something that maybe you don't want to do, that can also be a justification that you provide so as to avoid what it is that you don't like doing and then like leaving it for someone else. The Seven of Swords is very sly, very sneaky, and you're making an excuse for a person or for a habit. So for example, like smoking or vaping, you might say, well, you know, like everyone's doing it, like it's not like I'm going to do this forever. And you didn't intend for it to be taking up as much time as like you thought, or like how expensive it can be. And I'm not saying that you're doing it. I'm using this as an example. Or you might like keep this person around, or like let's say you have a coworker that's really annoying because they don't do what they say they're going to do, and instead of like taking action in a proactive way, you'd rather just like vent about this person until like you've reached your breaking point when you could have taken action in some way, shape, or form. You don't, I'm hearing something that's like along the lines of like, you don't feel like yourself when you do this, when you take part in this habit. And it is like self-sabotage when we play into those excuses because we can justify them, right? And like that's what wields power. So let me get your biggest blessing that's coming. If you hear my neighbors, sorry. So we're going to get your biggest blessing, pile 2 in 2024. A Little Too Long, Little Too Late, I think is it's a song by JoJo that's coming through right now. So biggest blessing that pile 2 is receiving in 2024. You might be cutting ties. You might have been avoiding cutting ties with this person, but or this job or what have you. And you haven't yet. So your biggest blessing is subconscious. So it's more shadow work. Now this is like subconscious healing. So what ideas, thoughts, or feelings are hidden from your conscious awareness right now? What are the unknown narratives and beliefs that are driving the way you see yourself and the world? What is emerging within you? What needs to be seen? Okay. And it's interesting because it's like we have this like subconscious and then we have the forest, and like, so it's like you've buried it almost. Okay, and then we're going to say what's your big opportunity in 2024. What is pile 2's biggest opportunity now that we're in 2024? My gosh, I almost said expression. Creative and self-expression. The way you choose to convey consciously or unconsciously on an idea, an opinion, or an emotion. Oh, and just as we were saying that, so like maybe you are very different. Well, obviously you're very different in the way that you express something to yourself versus the way you express something to others. But it's interesting that the color scheme is very different in this card than in these cards. On the bottom of this deck is triggers. Okay, so what is making you feel uncomfortable? What is causing the negative reactions within you or from you? What needs to be resolved? So this is like the opportunity is to express and sort of transmute this trauma, okay? Or this even like trauma from the past, big T, little t, what have you. So let's get into your blessing. Like what blessing is going to stem from this subconscious healing that pile 2 will be doing in 2024? The 4 of Cups. So this is the moon in Cancer. This is Making peace with your past. This could also be, what's it called? Subconscious healing of your mother wound, or the relationship you have with your mother. Healing your own limiting beliefs. Because the Four of Cups typically shows this person sort of down in the dumps. And, you know, this opportunity is being presented. This new cup is being presented and they're looking the other way. And in this picture, we have a picture that this person has made with paints and admiring their work, and like how something looks and how something is, they're not the same thing. You can look happy in a photo even when you're not really happy. And so there's that internal weight that you're releasing. Tell me a little bit about this expression, and we might go back. Expression. Clarify the opportunity that comes from this expression of pile two's triggers. Your mind is being set free. This is something that I heard it might only apply to like one person, but interesting. We have the Five of Wands. So learning how to transmute a situation into something that like create meaning around it, even if it benefits others. Like, so for example, creating poetry from pain. And at the bottom of the deck is the Page of Swords, and this could have been like an idea that you've had for a long time on how to memorialize something or someone that has happened in your life, or again, like someone who's had a really big impact on you and your way of being. This could be something that you tend to keep hidden. Eradicate and rebuild. Forgiving this person or forgiving this situation that has caused you pain, like doing it for yourself. We're going to get deeper into this because I don't know. Let me see. I want to get a card from this Elemental Empath Oracle. And as I say that, my battery's going to die, so let me change her really quick as well. Really quick. So as I was sitting with your cards before doing or taking out the Oracle deck, like it's like something like you have to be strong for everybody else, or you feel like you have to be strong for everyone else, or you think that like you have to do everything, because if you don't do it, then it's not going to be done right. And it's hard for you to give up that sense of control with like the Four of Cups and the subconscious. Maybe that was ingrained, or that seed was planted in you from a very young age. And this expression here with the Five of Wands is allowing other people to come forward and like to work together and to admire the beauty of a collective expression, so to speak. With the Seven of Swords and the King of Swords in reverse, like, this is your time to recognize when you're BSing yourself or others, and when, you know, you're being integral to your like core values. I don't know if I'm making sense. That's just what came to me. So we're going to get into this elemental empath oracle to see what messages come up for you in 2024. Pile 2, what messages are coming through? And I don't say this to be mean. I'm just saying, like, if you have the foot on the gas at all times, like maybe this year you're learning to take a step back and then also seeing what happens. Because sometimes when we give ourselves a break, we make space or create room for more ideas to like come to light. So it's almost like getting out of your own way and recognizing when you're self-sabotaging. Now, obviously that takes like working with a therapist and journaling and everything, and very deep reflection and meditation. So again, this is not something that is going to happen overnight. I'm just saying this might be something, a process, if you will, that happens over the course of 2024. I do think travel is going to be great for you, even if it means just like getting outside, and also getting out of your comfort zone. Okay, so we have, we have 2 that came out. Interesting. So we have the air element coming through with choice. And this is very 2 of Swords for me. In a little bit of a different way, but it says life direction, how you respond, and consequences. Okay, so the choices that we're making, the choices that we make have consequences, whether they're good or bad. And maybe you're responding to your triggers in a different way, or you're learning how to respond to them in a different way. We also have the cosmos element with integrated woman, and this says self-acceptance, integrate lessons, grounded healing. You're going to feel a lot more confident in yourself and the choices that you're making for yourself. And if you have to make choices on behalf of others, you're going to feel that ease that comes when you no longer doubt yourself. I'm going to move her here. No, she's not going to fit. Let me see if I can do here and this way. Okay, we're going to try that. That's a little bit different, but so for example, you are not your mother. You might find certain areas in which you maybe overlap a little bit, but you're not superimposed. Okay, so let's see. Choice. I'm going to read this from the book, which implies duality, but the choices we make largely determine the type of life we live and overall direction that we go. What we choose has consequences, and we must live with those outcomes. We need to find a balance between those two truths. The choices we make both matter a great deal and not at all. They matter in that they set set us up on certain paths, they also don't matter that we can't possibly know all of the outcomes or what the future will hold. So fretting over every little decision does not help us. The key to making choices is to make them from a centered place, however that feels for you. Are you someone who chooses based on emotion, logic, or intuitive signs? And I do think that your connection with spirit is going to increase, as well as the faith that you have in yourself, okay? If your usual method is failing, it might be time to meditate and find a place of stillness or ask for outside help to find clarity. In the end, it must feel right for you. If you don't fully trust your emotions, you might try weighing the pros and cons. Once you've made your choice, your intuition might confirm it as the right or wrong one. If your thoughts are a mess, try leaning into your emotions and see what your heart wants. If the mind and heart are unsure, what does your intuition say? Is there a sense of knowing about which way you intuitively should go? You might also consult friends or family. If all of these are unclear, then it's okay to close your eyes and randomly make a choice and see how it unfolds. I think we put so much weight into making the wrong choice that it can hold us back from then taking action because we don't want to fail, okay? And sometimes it's okay to do that. It's okay to make a mistake and come back to the drawing board. So learning to be a little bit more forgiving with yourself. And then integrated woman. The integrated woman is a powerful card. At her core, she is a queen. She accepts herself exactly as she is. She isn't lost in perfectionism. She knows that both she and life can be messy, disorganized, and unpredictable. She might have breakdowns, breakthroughs, good days, bad days, and everything in between. She isn't lost in the idea that she should be enlightened or that her life must be perfect and lived in constant bliss. She knows that her inner work is making her stronger and helping her heal, and she knows that life is an ongoing journey of highs and lows. Sometimes she is a transcended goddess. At other times, she's a crying mess. The integrated woman lives in and accepts the moment, able to embody all sides of herself, not just the goddess. She holds all aspects of herself with awareness and compassion. So that's a little bit about what that's about. And I think that you really are learning how to integrate the life lessons that you've learned along your healing journey into your daily life and into your relationships, and also recognizing that Rome was not built in a day, and it's okay to take your time. Okay. I think you put a lot of pressure on yourself, possibly because of your parents or from some sort of external source in society based on the heteronormative expectation. And sometimes taking a step back and asking yourself if that's even something that you want, or is it something that you're pushing to get some sort of internal or external gratification. Okay, let's get into our couple oracle decks that we're going to be finishing off with, and then we'll end your reading, okay? So we're going to see which divine master you're going to be working with as like a spiritual mentor. Who's your spiritual mentor for the year 2024? Appreciate the journey, not just the destination. Okay, so we have Rama and Sita, holy union, soulmate connection, romantic opportunity. So there might be choices that you're going to be making in your dating life. you might be doing this work now so that you can enjoy romantic connection, okay? And this shadow work is coming through because, hold on. I've got this cow yoga book and I'm sort of obsessed, okay? But I read something in there. I think I shared this book in the last reading as well, but it says, there's a quote in here from, your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And this is a quote by Rumi. And I think this just goes to show that sometimes we can, by not giving ourselves the validation that we need, we crave it in others, and we rely on, superficial connection to help us numb the pain. And I think that for some of you, you are healing this, and this blessing is going to come through in a twin flame or soulmate connection. And know that soulmates don't necessarily have to be romantic. They can be platonic. So this can be a friend or a family member that you reconcile with or forgive and come together and celebrate this. They are the personification of the divine masculine and feminine and are associated with the festival of light, Diwali, embodiments of divine love and holy union. This magical couple can be invoked for help with overcoming challenges in relationships and can help those who are ready to open their heart to love. Your message: you have a great opportunity to experience heart healing at this time. In the past, you may have found it difficult to trust and let yourself be loved, and therefore may had many barriers up that stopped others from seeing your true worth. Now you find yourself in an empowered position where you are open to the possibility of partnership. This is very exciting. You know for a fact that you don't need anyone else to validate you or complete you, but this doesn't mean it wouldn't be nice to be cherished and supportive. If you aren't in a relationship, the universe is presenting opportunities for you to experience a real soul-to-soul connection. This can only happen, however, if you stop letting past experiences cloud your judgment in the present. If you already are in a relationship, know that there's an opportunity to take it further at this time. Either way, enjoy this experience. I'll let you know, a lot of people get frustrated because they have to date. And believe me, I've been there. Dating is a roller coaster because it's unpredictable and sometimes it's unsuccessful. Don't take it so personally. I know that that's harder to do than easier said than done. But understanding that, everybody has a person for them out here. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not to say that either of you are doomed to singledom. I don't even know if that's a word, but learning also how to be in a relationship. Sometimes we have these subconscious inklings to change people or to, heal people. And so your those desires subconsciously that come up, you're going to be healing. Also, some of you might just need some sleep. Did not mean to yawn. All right, this is going to be your last card for your 2024. Let me know down below if it resonated for you in some way. This came to me. You're no longer making excuses. Like either they're for you or they're not for you, and you're not going to be making excuses for other people who are not meant to be there. Like this is like keeping somebody past the expiration date. Pile two. Any last messages for pile 2, 2024? Okay, this one jumped out. Okay, I love this. We have perfect timing. So divine timing is at play here. We have auspicious, clockwork, planning, and patience. And while there might be some things that we can control, there are other things that we have to wait for. So for example, I don't know, I'll use 2 examples. I started grad school in 2020, and that had been something that I'd wanted to do for like a year plus. And there was a big trauma that happened in 2018, so it took me a lot longer, and I was so happy to be there. And then obviously 2020, the Pandorama happened, and like, honestly, I was not in the right environment to be able to like work from home or like study from home. Like I wasn't mentally in the best place, and I don't know, like it was hard for me. And then I met Marty, and I thought everything was going to be cake and ice cream, right? And essentially something happened to me in 2020 late, and it really effed with me, and I really got depressed, and I had to stop because like I was not even trying anymore in grad school, and I realized like that it tanks your GPA. It's really bad. And before that, I was getting A's. So it wasn't like I wasn't capable or the material was too hard. This was like me self-sabotaging. And also, I wasn't advocating for myself either. So, while I wanted to go back like in 2021 or in 2022, there was another trauma that happened in 2021, and it took a really freaking long time, okay? And I didn't even know if I wanted to go back at times. And now, in 2023, I made it happen. And here I am in 2024, I had my first class. So, like, I wanted this, but the universe was like, you have to show us that you're ready. Show us that like you're in the right space in life to receive this blessing again, and we'll give it to you. And I know that sometimes like that's not what you want to hear, believe me, but know that it's happening. And I'm seeing 29, like some of you, if you're born between 1993 and 1996, you're probably experiencing your Saturn return, which is happening in the sign of Pisces. And so that's gonna create a lot of upheaval. I'm in my Saturn return, and it's been fun. Lots of ups and downs, but I really appreciate this time in my life. Like, I really, really do. On the back of the deck, we have, which I love this, because I think that you'll appreciate it as well. We have Be the Real You, okay? And this is sort of like also in the dating sector as well, but freedom, authenticity, uniqueness, and courage. Like it does take courage to step out of that mold and embrace who you really are, or who, like, you know, and not everybody is going to like it. Some people, like you can be the juiciest peach in the world and somebody just might not like peaches. And that can be hard to accept because we all feel like guilty that maybe we've done something wrong. And that's not always the case. But just recognize that I want to say that this is like this inner transformation or this inner enlightenment that's giving birth to this kind of, I don't necessarily like the word glow up, but I'm talking glow up in like a spiritual sense and like a union with self type of transformation, metamorphosis, what have you. All right, so that is what I have for you, pile two. Thank you so much for tuning in and bearing with me. Sending all the love in the world and the best of vibes in 2024. So with that being said, give this video a like and I will see you soon. Toodles! Pile 3, welcome to your reading. So I chose for you the Lavender Quartz. I, not gonna lie, heard Lavender Haze in my head, Taylor Swift's Midnight album, that might have some messages in there for you. Your like signature card, so to speak, your opening cards, because I have some tarot and a oracle card. So we have the Venus in Pisces transit with submission. This could reflect your placement or someone's significance, or, you know, the time frame of this transit, which is happening March 11th to April 4th. Okay. So we have that. And then for your tarot, we actually had 2 cards come up. So we have 2 reversals here. We have the 3 of Wands. So I'm going to show you the up front. So we're on a ship. We're setting sail, you know, and so this 3 of Wands could be something that you've already started, a passion of yours is that you've already started that is continuing, or this is a new thing that you're starting, or this could be like maybe you had to take a break, you had to take a time out and like to address some things. So we have that, and then we have the 6 of Pentacles in reverse, and maybe part of the reason you had to kind of press pause on your dream was because of finances, or if you were in a group, so to speak, like maybe, you know, not all of you were able to give enough. With Venus in Pisces, this is maybe asking you to slow down on impulsive spending, or releasing the need to have like the latest trend or like the newest thing on TikTok shop. There's like this need to put money away, okay, and to save for the rainy day. Focus on really treasuring the present moment, being in the here and now. And maybe that means meditation. Maybe that means journaling, like having a ritual that roots you in the present instead of following through on that muscle to just grab your phone right away. Okay. Let others know how much they mean to you, because it really makes their day. It's an easy way to show kindness and appreciation and and gratitude. Spend more time in nature, okay? Maybe you can't go on the trip to X, Y, or Z, but maybe there's a park in your area that you've never been to before with a trail, and like it kind of gets you out of your own head. Karaoke is coming to mind. I don't know why. Maybe that is something that you will be doing at some point in 2024. You know, like how Taylor Swift says in New Romantics, the best people in life are free. I mean that too, but like the best things in life are also free. This is a test of faith for you. I'm feeling like if you've been going like struggling paycheck to paycheck, this might be a year where you're coming out of that. And you might even be like starting your own business, for example, like getting out of these confines that society has put you in. Also, we got the birds. So like Nelly Furtado's I'm like a bird, I'm gonna fly away. And then Unwritten by Natasha Bedingfield. So those songs are kind of coming through. There could be messages in there for you. This is also a call to like resist self-sabotage. Now, self-sabotage 9 times out of 10 is subconscious. It's like it's unconscious. We're not aware. But working with a trained professional, licensed professional, might help you bring those ways into your awareness. This is also like being inspired by the pain that you've experienced and not letting life circumstances stop you from living your dreams, okay? I'm hearing like a very creative, artistic side. With the Six of Pentacles in reverse too, this is also kind of asking you that like you need to fill your cup first instead of focusing on making other people happy. And that is why, like I said, that this might be a test of faith. Like you might not have faith in yourself, or you might not have a lot of faith in this idea that it's going to succeed and you're going to be able to overcome this. But you only need you only need a small amount of faith the size of a mustard seed, okay? So, submitting to something that is bigger than you, for example. The Three of Wands too could be something that you started before you had to press pause, and then now you're starting again, okay, in whatever way that is. Let's get some oracle cards. Also, spending time in nature by like water, okay? Water might be very healing for you. We're going to get some tea leaf oracle cards if I hadn't said that already. Okay, so pile 3, 2024. Okay, so right away we have Tiger. Doing something risky, taking a chance, and that just might even be like getting out of your comfort zone, trying something that you haven't before, even if that means like a different way to work. Like it doesn't have to be, I'm gambling all of my money away. In fact, I really don't think that your spirit guides want you to do that right now. I do think that you're not satisfied with where you are right now or where you thought you'd be by this time in your life with the cracked cup. Take this as a sign that you're only going up from here, okay? And maybe that's why you need to take this risk. This could even be like starting your own business. I had 3 fall out, so we're gonna go for it. We have Vulture. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone is against you. And sometimes, these worries are in our heads. This is like false evidence appearing real. So unless someone gives you finite proof, tangible proof, don't necessarily believe the anxiety, okay? I know that's easier said than done. Interesting, we have Shark. Take care or there will be a loss in material wealth. Lots of animals coming through. And then we have Bell, an announcement. Okay, I'm going to read from my spirit animal book, okay? So first we have Tiger. These are all like predatory animals too. And the bird is like the prey. Just be careful. Not saying that like anything bad is going to happen. I don't know. Felt like I needed to say that. All right, let's look at Shark first. You're especially sensitive right now, so be careful with what environments and situations you expose yourself to. Allow yourself to swim through your emotions fluidly so as not to get stuck in any one feeling. You're very well protected and can ward off any threats, negativity, or psychic attacks. Notice how your mood shifts depending on what you've eaten, and if necessary, modify your eating habits to maintain your physical and emotional equilibrium. Maintain your dignity and self-respect no matter who or what you encounter. You'll notice a heightened ability for discernment and discrimination, sorting out what's right and what's not for yourself. Let your inner feelings, not your external influences, dictate your eating habits. Also, like sharks, like, like, I don't know, it feels like scammers are on the rise. Like, I get texts all the time saying, like, your UPS delivery did not go through. Please confirm. So, like, just be on the lookout for your email and your passwords and everything. And be conservative if you do gamble or bet on something. Okay, like, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Because, again, it's throwing money away that maybe you could use for something else. Okay, so with Tiger, remain focused, be very patient, and you'll soon receive a surprise that will help you achieve your goal more quickly than expected. You'll soon find a way of healing from a physical condition or an emotional disturbance very quickly, followed by a noticeable increase in vitality. Create a sacred space in your home that is completely yours, one where others may enter only with your permission, and take the time to enjoy the solitude in this space. You'll soon be experiencing a surge of passion and power that will remain with you for some time. Get ready for a new adventure, one that may present some challenges but will introduce dramatic changes in your life. And the last one is Condor or Vulture. In spite of the dire circumstances you find yourself in or the losses you've sustained, you'll eventually discover the gifts in this experience that may not be immediately apparent. It's time to clean up the clutter or messes that you find around you. Develop new and creative solutions to those problems that you or others would prefer to ignore. You'll find that your tastes, cravings, and possibly your entire diet will soon change, so pay close attention to your body's response when you eat certain foods. It's time to take all those material items that no longer serve a purpose and either recycle them, get rid of them, or donate them in some capacity. So I will let you, discern what messages are yours. But yeah, escaping the confines of your mind. Before we move any further, I'm just going to get a couple months of the year that maybe might pose some significance for you. For pile 3, 2024. We have June. So that is summer. That is Gemini and Cancer season. Get one more. September. So that would be Virgo and Libra. So we have summer and fall, which are two cardinal seasons. It's the start of a season, which I think is interesting. All right, so now we're going to get into your tarot. So I have these prompts. So this is your biggest lesson is in 2024, pile 3, and that is going to be triggers. So managing your triggers or looking at them in a different way. What is making you feel uncomfortable? What is causing the negative reactions within you or from you? What needs to be resolved? And this might, again, happen over the course of 2024. Triggers. So I'm going to get a tarot card for that. For those of you also who haven't heard of the positive spin on triggers, glimmers. So, but I realize like this is shadow work, but sometimes we have to identify these before we can welcome and make space for the good. Okay. So, how is pile 3 healing triggers in 2024? These could be new or existing. Okay, so we have the 6 of Swords. And it's interesting because, like, the swords in the ground might represent these for you. And yes, we have to acknowledge them. However, we don't have to give them all of the space in the world to exist. I'll talk about a trigger for me, and maybe this might help make sense. And see, like, I feel like everyone can be on their own journey when it comes to this. So, like, for me, I was SA'd in late 2018. And so the evening of, he was talking about a movie that he'd seen with his kids, and it was the new, I can't even say it, the new Grinch, okay? And it's hard for me because obviously it's Christmas, so it comes back every year. I also work in a school, so I hear that word all the time. And I see that image every time I'm on a streaming service around the holidays, and I have to acknowledge it's there. But I still have to, like, I'm struggling to reframe that, and I'm trying, but that's just something that's there. And I don't have to try and completely take out the sword, because I've tried, okay? I have done the EMDR. I have been in therapy for a long time because of that. And, like, I sort of have to accept the fact that it's going to come up, and I have to have a plan in terms of how I'm going to, handle that when it comes up. Now, I'm not saying that particular thing, but like there might be one of those from a particular time in your life that is really upsetting. There also could be smaller ones, so like an interaction with a certain family member, for example, especially if it's like little t, might bring up feelings of, like, it might strike up your sympathetic nervous system. And so finding ways to bring that back down, okay? Because it can be scary when we don't know how to keep our minds grounded, okay? In the present moment when, obviously there are glimpses from the past, very painful past, very painful moment that we're letting in, or that are trying to come in. And it's almost like this water, like this river, like you have to kind of let it go. I know that's not the best. It's probably not. I don't, take if it resonates. If it doesn't, just leave it. But also try to think of like a happy time associated with that. So for example, the Grinch, the old one, was a very beloved movie that I used to watch every Christmas with my cousins. And so I try to think of that every time that I can't avoid the other one. Okay. I do want to get like a little something else. So give me a second. Okay. This might also be a piece of advice. Let's see, with the trigger. How can pile 3? Okay. So I have 3 cards in terms of like how you're handling this, or something that might be helpful for you. Imagery. Imagery is powerful. Imagine yourself on a beach, and your blood pressure will drop, and your muscles will relax simply because your mind has convinced your body that you are there. Download an imagery app, buy a recorded guided imagery, or create a relaxing place or scene in your mind. Practice your imagery and enjoy the results. Alternatively, imagine yourself doing well or practicing your skills in your mind. So this is the art of visualization. That could be helpful for you. Next, we have relaxation. Relaxation is a human need. What do you do to relax, or what do you think could be relaxing? Plan to engage in some of those relaxation behaviors every day, remembering that learning to relax takes practice. And for me, relaxation is really hard. Take some time now to be mindful of your breathing, to tense and release the major muscle groups, or to simply sit in a quiet place. All right, and finally we have list resources and barriers for each self-care area. We all have resources and barriers that will help or hinder our use of self-care skills. For each part of the pleased acronym, list both your resources and barriers. Call yourself to action by enlisting your resources and by using your other skills to knock down your barriers. All right, let me reset my camera really quick. So to summarize, I think that it's also not about not letting your triggers have complete power over you. I will try to list some resources that you can use in 2024. Okay. Letting these cards slip and slide all over the place. All right, so the 6 of Swords. So this is processing triggers in a way that is healthy and in a way that's healing as well. And the shark, the vulture, the tiger, can represent those where it's like they seem scary, but they're not actually a direct threat. Okay, so what is a blessing? For you, you have limiting beliefs. And so I think that this blessing is coming through because you're healing these limiting beliefs. And the card itself reads, what are the negative assumptions or perceptions that limit and stop you from being the best version of yourself? What have you been conditioned to believe? So this is a very big, powerful year for you. And we do have Pluto moving into Aquarius. That just happened, actually. So this transformation energy, this phoenix rising is coming through very strongly. Limiting beliefs. How is pile 3 healing their limiting beliefs? or what limiting beliefs is pile 3 healing themselves from? Let's do that. Okay. Oh, the 5 of Cups. This is like most telling yourself like it hasn't worked before, so why would it work now? Or, long-term happiness is just not there for me because something always happens and everything gets effed. Or believing that this person will fail you because you've been failed in the past. And this is trying to encourage you not to believe that. I think you can be very hard on yourself, especially when something doesn't work out. And as you can see, these cups here are upright, but they're not focused on, like, you're focused on the storm and the destruction that the storm has caused. And this is not only processing your thoughts, but also processing your emotions and getting this sense of closure and hearing this reminder that, like, everything is going to be okay. And I know that that's easier said than done. That is not something that happens overnight. But learning to embrace self-compassion. Okay. I'm going to get another one of those cards. I started reading this book yesterday, and I think it's called 8 Powerful Secrets to Manifesting or something. I will put it, I will link it if I can, or put it up on the screen. But I say that because you also have something else coming. Let me see. Coping with these limiting beliefs of yourself. Comparisons. Draw healthy comparisons between yourself and other people. We only have to turn on the news to realize that there are people without necessities who have suffered unthinkable tragedies or who have tremendous obstacles to overcome. Remembering that others suffer too, often in worse ways, allows you to have perspective and even feel grateful that you don't have those problems. But also accept that, like, you're on your own journey. Just because you're not where somebody else is doesn't mean that you're unworthy of, like, receiving that blessing too. I'm going to show you this other card. Let's see. It's in the Tarot of Oneness. I got the mini edition recently, and will be getting the whole deck. I will be. It needs to happen. But I love how she illustrates the 5 of Cups in this deck because it's very, very real and raw and very relevant, I think, to a lot of us. And it's similar to the rain, but, like, not letting the pain cloud your judgment, cloud your perception. But also not telling yourself, like, that this is invalid. Like, like, you need to just get over it. Like, that doesn't happen like that. And you also have to believe that these beliefs are, in fact, limiting you. Again, it doesn't happen overnight, but finding somebody that you can trust to kind of help you overcome this is what's going to help you. There could be a loss of self, or, like, a loss of someone really important in your life. That is also very painful to kind of get over. However, I do want to say that like you do have, in terms of your opportunity, you have the card manifest. And it says to create, to bring into existence, to make into reality. And I found the law of attraction after my SA. And my SA, the way I frame it is my SA led to my spiritual awakening. Because when that happened, like I did have a loss of faith. I was like, if there's a God and, then he wouldn't have let that happen to me. And I blamed a higher power, like for a long time, just because I also think that in some situations, not just SA, but like you don't necessarily get that closure of why it happened, why they had to do what they did. But you're gonna manifest like a whole 180. And like, for example, this bird is only looking at one side of the cage. If they turn around, then they'll see that the door is actually open for them to leave. But if you're only believing one side of the story, then you're not going to be able to see the other part. Let's get a tarot card for what you're manifesting. Pile 3, I think you've probably been through the ringer. Most likely. And I think your spirit guides are with you. They do want to give you the biggest hug. I'm going to say that. They really, really do. They're so proud of you and the journey that you've been on. So for your manifesting card, we have the Two of Pentacles. Now the Two of Pentacles is Jupiter in Capricorn. This is like expansion within your career. This is finding something that really brings you joy, that like you could lose time in because you love it so much. Again, this is better financial. Finances are not going to be so hard. And something that you're doing is really going to pay off. I would say make a vision board, okay? Or make a list of your top 10 goals that you want to accomplish in 2024, and then build your vision board around that. Get clear on what it is that you want to bring in, and you might be surprised at what finds you. What area in your life are you going to manifest the most blessing to? So, your personal finances, your values might even change. This is also like confidence in yourself, confidence in the work that you do. Maybe even a change in your career is going to be happening. And I'm seeing this for the better. So something is going to take off. Whether that's a promotion in like something that you're doing already, or this is something new that's being presented to you and is going to allow you to live a life that really brings you happiness and joy. This could also be like a reunion too, a reunion of someone like from your past. Let's see. Oh, so I want to get one of these cards. Embracing your inner beauty. Messages for pile 3. Ooh, okay. We have sensitivity coming through. Validate self, vulnerability is strength, and projections. Maybe you identify as a highly sensitive person, and so like you're finding books and resources and stuff that can kind of help you cope with that. This is definitely emotional healing, though. Opening up and releasing emotions that you've been keeping bottled up inside, but also, again, being open to receiving. I'm moving this really quick. I put the guidebook in my little box here. Let me see. You are a sensitive soul, and that is okay. Women have been shamed for thousands of years for being emotional and weak. Your sensitivity, as you learn to understand it, is your superpower. You have a greater capacity for empathy, compassion, and understanding of others. Let yourself feel what you feel, even if they call you dramatic. As a sensitive person, it's important to understand that you will naturally have big emotions and a sensitive nature. Your feelings might be easily hurt, even over seemingly small things. It can feel overwhelming to handle anger or disappointment from others, since you can sense the emotions of others so acutely. You might even become a people pleaser to avoid conflict, even though you often have hurt feelings that you push down. Overwhelm can also be common with sensitive people, since our other senses are often heightened as well. It's important to remember that, contrary to what we've been taught, being sensitive is not a bad thing. It actually enables us to be more in touch with how we feel and connect on a deeper level with others. This card is a reminder that you are allowed to be sensitive and all that entails. Just keep this sensitivity in mind throughout different situations in your life. Knowing that you are more sensitive than some people can help you understand why certain situations might be more painful for you. It also gives you permission to take the time you need to process your feelings. Find the right environment and people for you to be able to thrive in your sensitive nature. When you start to work with your sensitivity instead of against it, you will find that you have an incredible ability to tap into your emotions and hold space for them. Part of your superpower will be emotional intelligence and fluency. Emotions will be able to communicate with you and freely flow and release instead of getting bottled up. Yep, validate your feelings as they are instead of getting lost in them. So this is kind of helping you make peace with that. And also, again, finding that safe space that you feel you can express your emotions and also receive that validation. Because if we don't, sometimes we unconsciously project onto others or onto situations, and it can cause more pain than peace. I also want to get into like your spiritual mentor. Just because you had to take a step back doesn't mean that this dream of yours is lost forever. I don't know. I felt compelled to say that. Okay. Pile 3. Who is your spiritual mentor that is helping you get through this 2024? Oh, we have Jesus. Acts of service. When you serve, the universe serves you. So this is being kind and also living with love. Maybe acts of service is like your love language, but taking time to also give back to your community. Yes. Service is showing up with a generous heart and sharing your gifts in a way that can help the expansion of the world. It's important not to confuse the energy of service with charity. Those are two different energies, and when you serve, it's okay for your gifts, talents, and service to be honored in an energetic exchange. Today, the light of heaven is encouraging you to recognize what you deserve, or that you deserve to be honored for the talents that you share. Jesus is here to help you move beyond any old ideas that you have to give until you are empty. You aren't here to live empty or half full. The divine plan is for you to enjoy fulfillment and abundance. Instead of asking the universe or God to use you, ask to be guided to serve in a way that also serves you. When you are full and overflowing, you have more energy and resources to share with others. So this isn't like just like giving until you can't give anymore. This is, again, that equal exchange of giving and receiving. Okay, so let's get your last card for 2024, pile 3. Pile 3, what does pile 3 need to hear in 2024? Pile 3. Oh, we have shower of prosperity. We have wealth, opportunity, success, and manifestation. Your money is coming your way. This could be a windfall of abundance, but you are getting these opportunities. And again, as you're healing your wounds, you're going to find that you're being rewarded. You might find pennies on the ground. So take that as an omen that your spirit guides are rewarding you and they're super proud of you. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Archangel Zadkiel with purple. So if you see purple, that might be something. But destiny, pride, conscious, and forgiveness. So forgiving yourself and forgiving others and believing that the universe has a plan. And again, divine timing is at work for you. So that is what I have for you, pile 3. If it resonated, feel free to give this a like. Let me know in the comments below. I hope you have the best 2024 ever, and I wish you nothing but the best. Toodles!